Welcome to Self-Care Tuesdays with KKM. Self-Care Tuesdays with KKM is a podcast about three women with different lifestyles raising awareness on the importance of self-care to reach one's highest potential. Now here are your hosts, Kat, Krista, and Maria.
Hey friends, Krista and Kat here. Maria is away, but we have the beautiful Gina Doost as our special guest.
Yay!
Yay! She is a friend to the show, the founder of the blog What the Deuce, one of Vanity Fair's top influencers of the year. She also works with the UN at the International Federation for Peace.
Thanks, ladies. I've been such a fan of your show. My husband and I listened to it. The other day, he ran me a really nice bath because I needed to self-care and I wasn't doing it. So he ran me a bath and he brought my iPad, the iPad with the podcast of yours on it. And I had it so loud that
Shout out to Mr. Jeff Franson.
Yes. Oh, that's so sweet.
It was really awesome. So yeah, I wanted to share that.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
Well,
so, tell us, what does self-care mean to you?
Self-care to me means finding a balance between the work you do for others versus what you do for yourself.
Love it.
I love it. Now, how did you get introduced to self-care? I know you have a story to share, and I
Yes, we would love to hear it.
I think my first realization to self-care, I have two stories. My first realization was when I moved to New York City from Los Angeles in 2010. And my dad was trying to instill this theory in me because I came here without knowing anybody, no family, no friends, no nothing. So it was pretty much me on my own. And
so how old were you?
I was 22.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. You're brave.
I know. It's like in a big city.
But yeah, he gave me this wonderful analogy that I carry with me today. And he was saying that I have to take care of me. And I was like, well, yeah, Dad, I'll take care of me. I go grocery shopping. I can do that. He's like, no. You have to take care of yourself, meaning like, you know, all this work that I was also working at CBS at the time, like 20 hours a day almost. It was ridiculous. But he gave me this story, and the analogy was, he's like, think of when you're on an airplane. You know how they give you these special instructions before takeoff, right? Or like right when you take off. And they always tell you, you know, in case of an emergency, put the mask on yourself before helping others.
I use that analogy all the time.
Right. And his whole thing was like, Gina, like, I know you want to help people. I know you want to do good. But if you don't take care of yourself first, you're not going to be able to take care of anybody else. He's like, it's so simple as that, like, analogy.
But it's huge.
But it's
and
huge.
Impactful, absolutely.
Yeah, he's like, and he told me, he's like, even if you're with a child, they tell you put it on yourself first before assisting anybody else, because you can't do good for anyone if you're a mess.
Yes.
If you're not taking care of yourself, if you can't breathe, how are you going to help others breathe?
Right.
Yeah,
No,
totally.
Yeah. Well, that was my first like realization in 2010 into self-care. But when I really, really took it into account was when I met Krista, and that was almost a year before my wedding.
Tear.
Almost a year to my wedding, a mutual friend of ours put me in touch with Krista, and it was pretty much the best wedding gift I've ever received, or hope to ever receive. I hope I don't get married again. Because so much of the entire day and the entire experience is based off of who you are and what your mood is and what your aura is and your energy is, that if you're not okay, if your aura is not aligned, if your energy is all over the place, then your guests will feel it and they will act like that too.
Yeah.
But no matter what happened throughout the day, no matter what happened throughout those months leading up to it, having those sessions with Krista really grounded me to the point where like close friends of mine would be like, wow, you're so grown, you're grounded. And I'm like dusting off my shoulder, Krista, selfish lifestyle.
You're silly.
So cute. I love it.
Well, that's how I really immersed myself into self-care.
That's
awesome.
gorgeous. That's amazing.
though, what are some ways that you practice self-care now?
Well, these days I try to juggle so much on my plate, but luckily I'm at a point where I love what I do, and sometimes half of my work is my self-care because I'm so passionate about the clients that I have and the work that we put out, whether it's through the UN, my site, or a Black Barn restaurant. I feel like I've worked really hard for a long time to get to this point. So now it's like I know sometimes I have to step back and like meditate or go to a yoga class or just hug a damn tree. Because that really does so much.
Yes, I wanted to just say that I've known you since this transitional point, and the light that she gives is, I mean, not that her light wasn't gorgeous before, but it's amazing, the transition to this point.
Bless your heart.
Right?
And your talented hands.
No, but it's so true, right? I mean, it's like we look at work as work.
Yes.
And I always say, love what you do.
Yeah.
Love what you do.
It's a world of a difference.
It makes the world of a difference because now it's not work. It is now become a self-care regimen.
It's a pursuit.
That is so amazing. That is really cool.
That's awesome. I love that.
Awesome.
I was in Greece earlier this year. I was at refugee camps volunteering, and one thing that I would always play in my head after a long day was Krista's words to go hug a tree.
I love that.
And I would be so, I remember this one time I was at the top of the Acropolis, and I went to a section you're not supposed to go to because that's just typical me. I do that kind of stuff. Tell me not to do it and I will.
And there you go. Yeah, that's me too.
You mean that way, right? No. And there's this ancient tree there that's been there for centuries, and they don't know how long, or at least the people that I asked didn't know how long. But I started hugging that tree. That was the first tree that I hugged, and I felt like it just absorbed so much of my pain, so much of what was happening that I couldn't put into words. And then I remember as I was walking away, there was this pile of caterpillars, and God knows what they were doing. Honestly, they could have been having an orgy. I don't know. But I love it. But the fact that it was caterpillars and the whole the analogy of that. The metaphor of I was just
into butterflies.
Yeah.
Yes. It's in my world of spirituality and mysticism, caterpillars or butterflies means an opening to a new birth of you, an emerging you.
Like rebirth,
and I
right?
and I remember this process. This was, and I don't want to downplay her experience in Greece because she's being very candid right now, but she went through it was a very eye-opening situation for you.
Oh yes.
Because we were in touch the whole entire time through, and I felt for her, but she emerged this amazing, strong woman who now works with the UN and doing all these causes for children and the betterment of humanity and society and
women empowerment.
Beautiful. I mean, it's amazing. Not that she wasn't doing that before, but now it's even more empowered in her.
You've owned it.
You've owned it. Yes.
Who you are.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And I mean, I haven't known you for a long time, but just the energy from the times that we have hung out, your energy is beautiful, very pure.
Bless your heart. Thank you.
For sure.
Yeah.
So today, our topic today is meditation.
Love it.
I'm so excited for this topic because this is my thing. This is I own this part right here. So meditation to me, I've heard this from someone. Praying is talking to God. Meditation is listening to God.
Oh wow!
Right? Praying.
I've heard that
Everybody knows what praying is. Even though I feel like we also need a topic on praying because I think there's been a decline on praying. I mean, I've had clients. I'm like, "Do you pray?" And they're like, I'm like, what? Not really. But praying is talking to God, and we are so accustomed to that. Right, and we accept that fully, but then when we speak of meditation, it's like woo woo, that's not, you're weird, or,
I know, it
It's
still
so-
has some taboo to it.
Does
it?
Still.
It
I mean,
does.
times are changing, and that's beautiful.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people out there, if you bring up meditation, they'll think that you're nuts.
And this is why I bring up this quote, right? This saying: praying is talking to God, meditation is listening to God. It is where you shut everything down and hear the answers that you are receiving. Now, higher power, God, there are 1% out there that believe that they are their own God, which is great. But how do you get there? But to go within. And that's exactly what meditation is. You have ascended masters, your archangels, your Jesus Christ, your Mary, your Krishna, your Vishnu, right? Your Ganesh, whatever the higher power may be that you do believe in a sense, they are not of the here and now. So how do we achieve that state? How do we achieve that communication? But through the state of meditation, right? And you're right, G. Like there's been a progress in regards to meditation. Harvard, actually, the Harvard Medical School actually had a study on meditation and what it does to the brain, and it's amazing.
And now workplaces are also starting to implement that. Like Huffington Post has a room dedicated to that,
A lot
as
of
well as
places
sleeping.
do.
Yeah,
Like co-working spaces, they have.
Richard Branson's huge on it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, love him. But so they found that neuroplasticity is what the brain is made of, and it is showed that aspects of the brain can be altered and healed and changed through the power of meditation. How amazing is that?
I believe that.
too.
Yeah.
So also I say this to I just said this to a client last week, because she was talking about her grandma who's going through dementia, and her grandfather is following right behind it, and they're not that old.
How old?
Maybe late 70s,
Okay.
80.
Okay.
And it's disheartening to hear this, right? To the point where they don't want to be with them anymore because of this point.
Yeah.
And the first thing I said was, start meditating now.
Yeah.
Because studies have shown through meditation, it actually produces the cells to keep your memory.
Oh, what?
Oh, yes.
going
This
to
is by
meditate
the study
right
the study was held by the Harvard Medical School.
I love that there's facts now to back this up.
Yes, and I'm that person. It showed that meditation aids in memory retention, aging, dementia, and it releases dopamine and decreases NE, which is a neurotransmitter cell associated with anxiety. It changes the neuroplasticity of the brain to alter states to heal from past traumas or experiences. It also raises another neurotransmitter called GABA, which is associated to cope with anxiety. The amygdala, associated with fear and emotion, will also shrink, whose key role is responding to physiological stress. Whoa. These are all, facts, and you could look this up throughout, but it's amazing. And I wanted to share this. This is why I'm so excited about this, because I schools are doing it with kids.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say, I hope they take this information and they implement this at school, at old folks' retirement homes, things like that, because this is gold. This doesn't even cost you anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
A lot of the VA is actually associating themselves with complementary alternative medicine, which is in fact meditation, breathing techniques, acupuncture, alternative
Oh, that's
medicine.
awesome.
Oh yeah, and
That's
they've
great.
seen the rise.
They've been
There's
doing
a 39%
this.
rise.
Yeah, they've been.
Yes.
Yeah.
If it worked back then in the ancient days, how could it
should,
not work now?
Yes.
Exactly.
So, what is meditation to you, Kat?
Meditation to me is just peace and serenity, to be honest.
Yes.
It's a time for me to just get away, clear my head. And, I have a lot going on with kids and, all that stuff. So it's good for me to kind of detach from everything and regroup. And so that's why I do it. So I can kind of clear away and also refocus. In my meditation, I do guided meditations. And so there's different ones that I do. The one that I do is for future and goals and stuff, because I lose track of my goals because today
life takes over.
Yeah, exactly. Like today it's about my youngest or maybe my oldest, and then it's like, well, where's Kat? So you meditate, and then it's like, okay, yeah, these are your goals. This is what you want as a whole, but it gets lost sometimes. So
Yes,
that's what it is to me.
I wanted to back that up. You know, when you're saying, you want to be able to be clear-headed and turn up, and it's true, because meditation studies have shown that it reproduces the cells, and it affects your frontal lobe, which is great because this is the part of your brain where you are making decisions, thinking and reasoning, higher mental processes such as consequences and daily cognizant behavioral patterns. So you better damn meditate.
Well, let me just say something. I'm going to say something from like a mom's perspective. We can't find the time usually to have self-care. I feel like this is probably the most important. It's going to be hard for you to find time to meditate, but I promise you it's like a vacation in your mind. It literally, like, take 10 minutes and it's a vacation in your mind. Like, you will feel re-energized and just peaceful to be able to go on without your day. It's literally try 10 minutes of self-care with meditation, and then go deal with your kids after. I mean, for me, that's kind of why I started doing it, because you get so wrapped up with day to day and doing everything for everyone else that at least if I gave myself the 10 minutes, I would feel better. You know what I mean? And then refocus and re-energize to do whatever it is that I needed to do for everyone else.
And you do it better because you meditated, or you took at least 10 minutes to take care of you.
Yeah, and it's beautiful because you vision. You see things, like you can vision your future. You know that
Visualize.
Yeah, you visualize your future, and you know that there's just more than the changing of the diapers or the stop fighting, or you know what I mean. Like there's more to it. You get
Yeah, and I don't want you to. Everybody is in a different state here, different levels. Of meditation.
Yes.
Okay. If you, I mean, this is the one thing that everyone, like all my clients, I don't know how to meditate, so they just shut it down. They shut the practice down. And I literally would be like, have you driven before? Have you walked 2 blocks?
Yeah.
You've done a meditation.
Yeah, I said that to my brother. I was like, do you listen to music? Because you can meditate.
Yeah.
You meditate.
Have you ran on a treadmill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's meditation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different ways of meditation, and do not get intimidated by this word. And that's what that's what we want to push out in this topic, is that, you can rise, to very many different levels here. And so here, congratulate yourselves, hug yourself energetically right now, because you have meditated. Even taking the 2 deep breaths, that's meditation.
And we can put some resources up for you guys on our blog to give you like different guided meditations that you can follow, for wherever you are in your journey.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's no wrong way to meditate
At all.
You can meditate in your sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So in that, with that, in the sleep, as we spoke about that with the brain waves, there's many brain waves. The beta is when you're awake. There's 70,000 thoughts per day average.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Like this is per person?
Yes.
Average human being.
That's
70.
how often,
that's how much the neurons are working.
Oh, wow. That's how creative we are.
Yeah.
And
I
then
love that you said that. That's how creative we are. How cute is that?
Nobody ever says that.
No, you just like, can you see how
You're just
crazy?
crazy.
We are? Yeah. 70,000. That's why we're crazy. She's like, we're so creative. You're so cute.
But then when you're in when the alpha state comes in when you're relaxed. That is this time when I'm speaking about when have you walked 2 blocks? Have you ran on a treadmill? Have you been driving? And then you get to your destination and you're kind of like, how the heck did I even get here? Right? Yeah. Because your brain waves have gone down to an alpha state. That is where you're relaxed, you're not really thinking, imagery is still moving, you're still aware, but you've gone to a state of relaxation.
I love that.
That's awesome.
That's exactly why I meditate.
And that also proves a point. Like, sometimes you need to let things be. And when you let it be, just like you said, if you're meditating while you're in transit, like, and then all of a sudden you end up where you're supposed to be, that's because you let it be. You were meditating, you put your energy into something else, but still in your reality, you let things be and you got to where you needed to go.
This is where the magic happens, guys. This is where the claircognizance happens. It's like suddenly a name pops into your head, right? You're like, oh, I haven't thought. And then the next thing you know, you park the car and you walk out of your car, and then the person that popped into your head is right around the corner.
Yeah.
This is where the magic happens because you've allowed yourself to connect energetically to the universe.
I love that.
And then the deeper level would be the theta state. This is where the zero sensory happens. We're gonna put this up on the resources. There are actually baths, the zero sensory baths. There's one in Brooklyn. I know there's one in Manhattan where they bring you into the zero gravity baths.
What?
They cut off all sensors. They cut off your visual. They cut off your auditory, your five senses. So you go deeper state. Oh,
Have you done it?
Oh, I've heard of
I
this.
get it. I do it all the time with regular meditation. But some people who needs a little bit more, right?
They cover your eyes.
They cover your.
You can't
It's literally.
hear. You're like, I've
you
heard
transcend.
of this.
This is now where you go into a transcended meditation, because you're literally cutting off. We rely so much on these senses.
On your five senses?
On your five.
I mean, I hope we need them.
I mean, you guys have six senses. You're moms.
I want to share a cat is really freaked out right now. Where is the video when you need it?
I know. I mean,
But-
just little, but yeah.
But the
I'm
theta
listening.
state is achieved in that level when you have reached that zero sensory state, where you are no longer relying on your five senses.
I like that.
And it goes way deeper.
It sounds a little
Way
scary.
deeper.
A little bit. Are you gonna do it? I'll do it with you, Gina.
You know, my girlfriend asked me to do it about 2 years ago, and she's a therapist. She's amazing, but I wasn't ready. I don't know if I'm ready for it yet. It's quite scary.
Well, you know,
How long is this? Like how?
you don't. You choose how long you want to stay
Oh.
in there. Yeah.
I thought 45 minutes was like
Whoa.
one of
Well,
those.
My
I don't know.
suggestion always into meditating, if you want to go deeper in it, you need at least 20 minutes to get to the theta state. Whether you go to the zero sensory state or you're just doing it on your bed or in a bathroom, wherever. You need, because you need to guide yourself into
I
this
love
state.
meditating in front of like water,
Oh, I know.
like
Me
the
too. It's-
ocean, a
yeah.
lake,
Yes.
or a fountain, and being at one with nature. That's my most favorite place.
Yeah.
Me is just the sun hitting me.
Yes.
Like as long as the sun, because in my living room I don't get. It's not like the sunniest, but at a certain, like it's 7 o'clock in the morning, it hits me while I'm in it, and it's like the most beautiful feeling.
Yes, I love nature. I mean, hello, Mother Nature, Mother Gaia. You know? Hug a tree, please. And then there's the delta state. The delta state is sleep. Lucid. If anybody heard, know about lucid dreaming, we're very aware of that in the higher state of consciousness. Delta sleep is actually scientifically is where your cell rejuvenates. This is why doctors, therapists, we encourage sleep. Sleep is amazing because it rejuvenates your cells. You lose cells every day. And this is, again, where we talk about dementia and memory loss, is because we lose it. And if we don't re-energize and recultivate our energy, right? I've said it multiple times. I know you're sick and tired of it.
No.
But energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but we can lose it. So what we do is we cultivate, move, or gather energy, right? And with meditation, you can do all these things. You could cultivate, move,
Yeah.
okay? Because moving energy, when you're doing Tai Chi, when you're running, that's moving energy. That's a moving meditation, okay? Moving meditation. Or you can gather energy to, let's say you're sick, right? You don't feel too well. You can gather energy.
I've done that before.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I've
So
done it.
it's just different states of beings, different
Yeah.
state of minds, and that's all we're doing here. And we're exploring this world, and I'm so excited.
It's really miraculous what you can do, what your body can do once you put your mind to it. And that is through meditation, through self-care, through energies. Like,
And faith.
and faith.
Faith is key.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you believe.
To be able to believe. Like, I am such a huge Disney girl, like, at heart. And, you know, a lot of people will be
Oh, by the way,
well,
she's our
actually
personal
look like a
Jasmine.
Yeah, I was gonna
She
say
is
you
a
actually look like. I was just gonna say that. Okay, so we have Jasmine, Moana.
I don't know who the hell I Mulan.
yes, go save an empire. So Krista for you.
I can't with you guys.
But yeah, like one of the things, like I know people have their, you know, thoughts about Disney and how it instilled wrong intentions for girls in marriage and happily ever. I get that. But what it taught me was hope, was faith, that no matter how bad your situation was, there's a better day, there's a better tomorrow. There can be something that's, you know, glistening and glowing for you at the end of the yellow brick road. But the hope is just like you can't get that anywhere but within your heart and by being motivated with these stories.
That's the
I mean,
neuroplasticity talking right
Really?
there.
Tell me, what is that?
I know.
Well, you know,
I wanna
that's your
learn.
brain is a muscle,
Yeah.
right? Meditation is literally a workout for your brain.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So we speak a lot about like how, you know, again, some people look at this and they're like,
Yeah.
you don't know what I've been through. You don't know the traumas I've been through. Right. And,
Yeah.
you know, that's coming from a discriminated mindset. But we've just spoke about for the past 10 minutes about how we can literally, we have the power of self to alter the mindset we have.
We do. I wonder, like, I always think about the people that feel like they can't. Where does that come from? I mean, and that could be like another, or just a private discussion, not
Another
necessarily a
topic.
podcast.
I think it's a blockage they have in their head, and I'm not patient with people like that just because I'm such a like go kind of person. But I think that they have a blockage, and I honestly feel like if they meditated in their own form, that they could break through that wall. Because these obstacles, like these walls that are built, like they're not permanent.
No, I feel like we build the walls ourselves, and that we have the power to bring them down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, again, I talk about, you know, the coping mechanisms that arises through trauma or through any experiences that has happened, good
Absolutely.
or bad.
Yeah.
Good or
absolutely.
bad. It's just not about bad, right? But it's been proven, you know, the human brain will retain traumas more so than the positive moments.
Of course.
That's just the way it is. So now if you know that,
I think it's, why is it easier to?
because we it's readily accepted to do
I
so.
guess so.
Also, I feel like people are very emotional.
Yes.
We feel a lot.
Yes.
And Maya Angelou said something similar to this, I may be butchering, but people won't remember you for what you said. They'll remember you for how you made them feel.
Yes.
And that's so on point.
Yeah.
That is so important.
Because
Goosies.
you could, whatever situation you're put in, like whatever the traumas may be or the ups and downs, like what you're going to walk away with is how you felt, not what happened.
Yeah.
And that,
It's energy.
yeah.
Again, energy, all of that.
Yeah, like somebody could give you the best advice in the world, but if they delivered it to you in a harsh tone or you felt that way, and here's the thing about feelings, like they're never wrong.
No.
Your feelings
Well, this is
are
where
valid.
it's very important that you know who you go to.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
a trained therapist or a trained counselor like me, I mean not that I'm shouting myself out, but it's very but I'm trained to understand that everybody has a different language.
Yeah.
You have auditory, kinesthetic, which is the feel, and then the vision, the visual, you know, and not everybody's the same. So this is why I'm very loud with saying it from the rooftops that you have to know your own personal energy. And we're gonna share that. We're gonna
that's definitely a topic that we have to cover. I always say that it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yes.
And that's really it's the energy behind what you're saying, the tonality, all of that is very
Intention.
Intention.
yeah,
right?
all of it. Like, yes. So with the intention part, I believe in constructive criticism, not criticism. So
But what is constructive criticism?
someone that's criticizing what you have going on, but has their opinion of how you can has a solution to
Yes.
what
Yes.
they feel whatever criticism they're giving you.
I feel like there needs to be a solution. Yes, I think
So that,
that's
to me,
very
that's-
important.
Yeah, so that's what constructive criticism to me is, when you have a problem and a solution at the same time.
Yes.
Well,
There you
many
go.
people have said that, don't focus on the problem, focus on the solution.
Yeah.
Right. And that's through somebody who is taught this communicative way of speaking, but not everyone knows.
Yeah.
No.
I've done this
Right?
both in my personal and work life. Like, if there's an issue happening or if there's something that I want changed, if I present, the problem from my perspective, and I present a solution,
yeah.
that other person can't be mad.
There's nothing
They're
wrong
like,
with
oh, okay. They can either do it or not, and I wouldn't be
that's- yeah.
offended. But having that solution makes all the difference.
because that's called constructive.
Yeah.
That's different. Now, when you criticize, it's a little different, because
Yeah.
then it becomes, well, what's your intention behind it? Like,
Yeah.
because you just kind of like, people tend to just vomit because everyone wants to be heard, and that's beautiful. But like, you have to be.
You have to be responsible
You
for
do-
your
for the-
actions.
yeah.
Accountability.
Yeah.
Another word I keep speaking of. And it's kind of, So, why do we do it, ladies? Why do we do meditation? I'm gonna start that off with me specifically. Obviously, with my world of mediumship and psychic abilities and the state, I need to do it. It's my way of reconnecting with myself after having to connect to others people's energy. And again, we spoke about this all the time, depending on what my intention is. Okay, because a lot of people assume that because I'm in this state all the time, like I'm in, hey, I'm real too. I'm a mother. I am a wife.
Yeah.
I have 3 businesses.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm doing a lot. And it's not always, easy peasy.
Peaches and cream.
Peaches and cream. And so I make it a point every morning and every night to meditate. Now, I don't expect it from everybody, but that's just why I do it.
I love
Right.
that you do that.
Yeah.
I do not. Listen, I'm the one that's like, I do it sometimes and sometimes I don't. No, I don't. I don't do it all the time. So I love that you do it. That you do that. That you make it a point to do that. I'm trying to get there.
Mm-hmm.
I
Honor your journey.
Yeah, I think I probably do it like 3-4 times out of the week.
That's amazing.
You might be
No,
doing it
that's
more than you
seriously.
think.
Oh, maybe, but I think because I think I need to do it more.
Of course.
Maybe because anyway, I do it because I need it as well.
Yeah.
It's sanity for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If I don't do it, I'm out of whack.
And this is the thing, right? It's a practice. This is
Yeah.
all the techniques that we
Discipline.
speak of here in Self-Care Tuesdays with KKM is these techniques are practices that we can do that eventually will become a habit.
Yes.
That will eventually become a habit, and there's no pressure here.
And a form of our self-care.
Right.
It's
So
the same way you brush your teeth out of habit. You're going
Right.
to start doing this out of habit.
and it's not, and I know I sound like a broken record, but if you do it often enough, it's gonna become so easy, and you don't need to do it so much.
Yeah.
And back to something you said in the beginning, there are so many different types of meditation.
Yes.
There's so many different forms. And, sometimes people are doing it without even knowing.
That's true.
To me, meditation is about elevating. And I started meditating because I thought that, I was in school. I think this was like middle school, and they were teaching us about the brain and like, how the percentage of what you actually use and how it works and all that. And knowing that most of my isn't being in use made me want to meditate to figure out
The other
The other
10%.
part, yeah.
I mean, the other 90%.
The
Did they
other
say
90%,
that
yeah,
we
yeah.
only use 10%?
Yeah.
10 to 12% or
Yeah.
something. So that's how I started meditating, and like You'll read this if
meditated
you.
young.
Huh?
You started meditating young.
I did. I'm an old soul.
I love
I really
that.
believe I'm an old soul.
Beautiful. I love that.
She's very old.
Krista can vouch for me.
I can vouch for her.
I must be a baby. Okay, let's go.
No, I really think
You're
that
an Aries. You are the first sign of the horoscope.
Well,
like,
whatever. No, just kidding.
whether it's hitting the snooze button in the morning for that extra 5-10 minutes, like if you're aware of where you're going in your sleep, and if you're mixing that subconscious with your conscious, like it's I don't even know how to explain it. I've found myself through meditation and self-care.
I love that.
Yeah, I feel like that is something that I'll always carry with me, and it keeps getting better, because no matter how you meditate, it will elevate you. It will elevate your situation, your lifestyle, your being, your energy, your brain power, everything.
In all aspects.
Yes.
And it's true. This is why we do it. Now, we have we mentioned how we do it. Sometimes we don't even know that we're actually doing it. But how do we meditate? Me personally, I've used either silent meditation, or guided meditation. There are times where I'm like, I can't do this shit by myself.
Yeah.
I can't do this shit by myself. I need somebody to tell me how to do it.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna put this up for you on the website on Self-Care Tuesdays with KKM.com on our blog. And there are apps out there for you.
Yeah.
There are Insight Timer. There is an app
I
that
use
says
Muse.
Yeah,
Headspace.
guided meditation.
But honestly, the best kind of, like, sometimes I ask, with my brother, like, he was going through things, and I was trying to tell him, like, you need to meditate, you need to think about things. And he's like, well, I don't know how to. I don't have time to take a class. I was like, no, it's not about that. I was like, I bet you already meditate. And he's like, no, I don't. I was like, have you ever zoned out? Whether you're in class, whether you're shopping, or whether you're in the car, like, have you ever zoned out? And then you come back and you're like, whoa, where was I? Where did I go? Like, how come all this time just passed? You're meditating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, and speaking of brothers, my brother, he's going to be a guest on the show, I'm sure in the future. But I know for a fact that I've guided him through a plant-based, natural induced meditation.
We're talking about
For you who don't
weed.
get that, it's weed, okay? I literally told him to go light up a joint and get him to that space. But the difference that I've added, and this you could also tell your brother now, is now that he knows that he has meditated and he has this capability, now let's add an intention behind
Love
that
it.
zoning out, right?
Yeah.
Before you, whatever stimulation you need, whether it's that zero gravity bath that we spoke about, whether
That's
it's the
scary
water beach, that's
I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm kidding.
whether you lay out by the sun or by the beach or just hugging a tree, what is the intention behind that meditation, right? Is it, as Kat have mentioned, she likes to do the whole future and abundance. Me, myself, I mean, I range from chakra balancing to connecting to the spiritual world even more, so I could better my communication to deliver clear crystal messages to my clients. With Gina talking to Jay-Z a little bit better.
I get it.
Right? There's many ways to get there, and how we do it is up to you.
Yeah.
But one thing that I
Totally
do suggest
#crazy.
is the intention behind it. So that's my challenge.
And that was my intention.
Right. Business.
Yeah,
Isn't that awesome?
Business was my intention, and that's how I ended up in a conversation with Jay-Z while I was meditating.
I just got goosebumps.
Seriously.
And it's freaking hot as hell in this room, if you all know. But yes, that's my challenge to you all. If you start, if you're inspired to do a meditation, just do an intention. Whether it's like, what is it you want to know today? What is it that you need to know today?
I
And
love
then
that
go ahead.
question.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
Because sometimes you don't know, and sometimes you don't need to know. You just need to be guided, and that's when your archangels come around you. That's when
Yes.
We should put up a guided meditation.
Yes. But also, I want to add, I started meditating when I was young through music. I would listen to my favorite songs or songs that, whose tunes I connected with, melodies I connected with, and it would just, how long is a song? 2-4 minutes?
Yeah.
That's a long time. When you're meditating, it's like dreamland, right?
It is.
2 minutes feel like an hour or 2
Yeah.
hours. So if you don't know how to do guided meditation, listen to a song, listen to an album, and have an intention in your mind and in your heart, and then go there, and then let it be. And you will stumble across things that you never even could have come up with in your wildest imagination. And I guarantee that.
I love that.
Yes, that's called clairaudience.
I love that.
So I spoke to a lot about clairs. That's my background in psychic mediumship. Clairaudience is clear hearing, and about only 10% of the population really get there. I mean, myself.
Wow.
Even with my with my
10%?
so-called psychic gift. I'm not special, by the way. Everybody's psychic. It's okay. Everybody's psychic. You all have this gift.
Another topic.
Another topic. We'll segue into that. But
learn about my psychic abilities on that podcast.
But so that's clairaudience, clear hearing. The only time really that I've experienced that is when I'm really in a block state. Yes, I get blocked, people. I do. I get to that state where sometimes where I can't even hear guidance, and I would literally hear my name called out of nowhere. And I know because of my background in guides and spiritual guides and angels, I know that's my angels pushing me back into reality and getting me to that state of don't go unhinged.
Yeah.
Right, get back to the 2017 Krista. Yeah, so that's awesome. I mean, I've literally heard messages. My mom talks to me a lot, and we have a specific song for her, so she talks to me a lot through that. Clairaudience. So that's really cool.
Last year, I was in Rome, and I was having a really rough day. Just, I got lost. I was going to the Vatican. My fiance at the time was sick, now husband, but he was sick, so he stayed back. My phone wasn't working. It was an intense day. But at that point when I was freaking out, I remember looking around and I saw this sign on the wall that said "Stand by me," and that reassured me so much because it's the song that my dad had same year asked to make our song for the father-daughter dance during our wedding. And it was so special because God bless my dad's heart. He's so amazing. He's my hero in so many ways, and he's in California, healthy, great. But he connected with me energetically, and it just turned my entire day around. And even though I was lost and my phone wasn't working, I made the best of the situation, and I ended up at Diana's, the goddess, her area, which was, and that's actually the same area I saw "Stand by Me" written up on the walls. And I just wanted to share.
I love that.
Thank you, Gina, for being here.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Gina.
And sharing your awesomeness and your light and your energy.
And your energy.
Yes.
Thanks for
Thank you,
sharing your energy
guys.
with us. I realize that's something to say now. The fact that someone wants to share their energy with you is huge, because it's a blessing to the people that you're around. And I heard that in church, grace is an extent, that the people that you surround yourself they'll receive the same grace that you have, and it's energy.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And that's it, guys. Thanks so much for listening to Self-Care Tuesdays with KKM. We look forward to sharing with you guys again in 2 weeks. If you need to get in touch with us before then, you can head over to our website, www.selfcaretuesdays.com. And all our social handles are there. You can email us, whatever you need. We're here. Thanks again so much for listening. It was fun sharing. We'll talk to you guys soon.